what's up?
I'm the Coder Kid.
And I'm Mr. Miyagi, and welcome to our show. So why are we starting this channel?
So for me, I think it's to help developers like myself, like yourself, to kind of advance in their career. Whether they want to make that next jump or maybe they want to strengthen their tool set, skill set with some new tools, stuff like that. I kind of see help shaping the aspiring or current developers that just kind of want to dig into it, whether it's passionately with education,
right,
or just wanting something more on the informational and I guess entertainment side. I don't know if we're entertaining, but they'll
how-tos and things like that. Yeah,
right.
We've got some we've personally run into things where we need to go and research stuff and find solutions to problems that we have every day. So I get that. Yeah. Well, for me, I have seen other YouTubers with YouTube channels. They're all West Coast, Silicon Valley types, and they have some really good content, and some of it is funny. They like to incorporate funny stuff into their videos, but you don't really see a lot of non-Silicon Valley type channels. And for me, I want to start this channel so that other developers can see that you don't have to be in Silicon Valley. You don't need to be in California or Seattle to be able to be successful as developers. You can be here in Dallas, Texas, or you can be in Jacksonville, Florida, or in Atlanta, Georgia, and be successful in development. So
you don't have to be you don't have to be at these technology companies or anything like that. You can still make it as a software developer and make plenty of money in the financial space or anything like that. And there's not really anything out there for that. So I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So what type of content are we going to provide for people?
So what I'm thinking is we'll provide interviews with other devs. I think that will be cool just to get different perspectives. So obviously we're going to be web developers. That's what we do, which we'll go into. So we're going to probably bring a lot of people doing different things in that space for one. And then just tutorials, discussions, deep dives, just us talking about tech, whether it's going to be microservices or the .NET platform, JavaScript. I'd love to get in some of that stuff.
And from a high level architecture, standpoint, we would like to talk about development patterns, how to implement development patterns, and maybe even some whiteboard sessions that we can do. And show.
Career advice. I definitely want to get into that too, and
that's
definitely stuff that helped us in our path. I know when I was starting out developing or like in college, I looked at a lot of videos just to get interested in it. How much do they make? That's not the most important thing, but it is one of the steps to getting you interested if you're not. And just everything onto that, like just how interviews go, what should I expect, how do I prep for them?
I think that'd be good for some of the future viewers to see, and get another person's perspective of what type of interviews you might come up with. Me being in the industry for over 20 years and you at least 4 or 5 years, we've been through a lot of interview processes and they're all different. And I think that'd be good content for people to get another type of perspective other than the Silicon Valley type perspective.
Well, and I like me and you in general because I'm going to bring that, hungry and, young and, we're not tenured in the industry.
Right.
We're just trying to get it. And so I can kind of cater to people trying to get into it, what it takes to, reach a senior level status or just be experienced and keep growing. And you can kind of, how do you stay hungry? Being so many years in, why haven't you just retired?
Yeah, because usually you see a career in software development, it rarely spans more than 15 years. Yeah. I've personally seen some developers that stay in it for 5 or 6 years. I think the most 10. And then they go on and do something different. And then you also have some accountants that do accounting, and then they decide to get into development. And it's interesting to see that jump from career to career. Well, you're right. I've been in the industry almost my entire life. Yeah. Since I got out of college. So
and not only that, they you're a software engineer, right? Yeah. You're just a software engineer, and most people will go into a lead position or management, maybe not do so much coding,
right.
But I mean, that's to each their own, right? Oh, yeah, and you would have been doing that if you wanted to go that route, right?
Right. Okay, so we talked about what we want to offer in our channel and what type of content you're going to get, but what makes us credible to be able to provide this content. So for myself, I've been a software developer, software engineer for 20 plus years, like I said. I started out in the late 1990s. I've seen everything from classic COBOL development to desktop development, and then straight into web development. And I've seen one of my first senior projects was a desktop application, and some of my friends that were doing their senior project, their project was a web page. That was a big deal back then. Just being able to create a web page.
In the, the 90s. Or,
right. And to see where it's come from back then, and some of my buddies, in college, writing a web page as a senior project, I kind of laughed at them. But here we are 20 years later, and everything's a web app.
See, we've come a long way too, because I came into the industry, and what's legacy to me is MVC.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just kind of shows our difference. I mean, just coming in later, right? That was that's already kind of faded out. You're doing front end and web APIs. So if you didn't catch on, we obviously do web development. So most of the things we talk about are going to be strictly web development based. Right. I want to get some people in here that don't do that. If we know some people doing cool stuff in the aerospace industry, that'd be cool. Building robots and stuff. So,
and like you said, we do want to do some interview type sessions with people that are in the industry, or like Drew said, outside of the industry and stuff like that. Something that could be spice for our channel. But like we said, 20 years experience, 5 years experience. And I'll say that Drew is probably one of the brightest young developers I've ever had the privilege of working with. We worked together already at 2 companies. So first one we worked a year together, and I was thoroughly impressed with Drew. He was well beyond his years, and we gave him a lot of hard
so let's give them the whole spiel since you're going into it. But so we met at a place called Service Autopilot. Basically, it was a startup that turned into like an 80-person company, so it was decently sized. By the time I got there, anyways. When did you get there?
Well, I was there. I was there a full year before you did.
Yeah, so still kind of when they were out of that startup phase, but they were still a small company. And we ended up working. We were on the architecture team, or they called them infrastructure. They called them infrastructure, but it's more of it was architecture, just kind of changing this monolithic system into microservices.
More of a distributed architecture.
Distributed architecture.
So
with messaging and all that. So definitely a shift for them, and we ended up having a good relationship. And when I was leaving that company to go to where I am now, Code Authority, I asked you to come along, or you asked me about it, and we ended up both ending up there.
We both ended up there. So,
yeah.
And we've been together now since then and doing some really good things. And we're hoping to share some of the knowledge and experiences we've had throughout our young and old, development careers. And, hopefully we'll be able to give you guys some good content, some good pointers, and help some of you even get a job.
Yeah, I want to cater to everyone. So, and that's really hard. You have to find a niche, but I want to also offer career advice for people who are just getting interested in software development. They don't know whether they're going through a boot camp right now or they don't have a degree, but you don't really need one.
And that's a good topic. A good topic is, do you need a degree or do you just need to go to a coding camp? And I'm sure that there are all different types of takes on it.
We've got all sorts of people we can interview because everywhere I've been, I've had people that came from boot camps, a traditional 4-year, and also just nothing. So we can do it all.
It's going to be interesting to hear other people's perspectives and what they think is the better route. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this channel, I think, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and you'll subscribe and like all of our videos and let's get this journey started.
Yeah.